Yeah, because somebody's checking on those.
My question was, who's a pretty girl in school?
All right, we have lots to do, folks. Get those calculators out. I got a few papers to turn back. All right. Let's get through these last notes here. So this homework will be due on Tuesday when you come back. And what else? I got some papers to turn out. Hopefully we'll get through all this. All right, here we go. Got our calculators out, ready to go. Dixie Packaging Company, okay, they're going to design boxes with a volume of at least 600. Squares are still to be cut from the corners, but, okay, you know, this is our normal box, right? This is the same box we've made countless times. So we're cutting the corners out. It's 20 by 25. And we're going to have a volume of at least 600. Okay, this is easy. You know how to do this. What's the volume equation? Well, yes, so for this particular problem, it will be 25 minus 2x, 20 minus 2x, and x. Don't forget that, length with height. And it needs to be at least 600. So greater than or equal to 600. Right? Now, you can do just like this. Graph, this is one equation, that is one equation. And look where the curve is higher than the line, because this would just be a line when you graph it. Or could we subtract 600 over, make it greater than or equal to 0, and find where it's above the x-axis? Yes, so do whichever way works for you. Do keep in mind your domain though. Where are your x's? X is going to have to be between what and what in this problem? 0 and 10, right? Because x can't be more than 10. So that at least helps you get your everybody should be typing this in. Why am I the only one? I feel like I'm the only one doing it. I do not want to be the only one.
So you can subtract 600 and find the 0.
If you graph them as separate equations, which is what I did, I have a picture that looks like this. So if you do it this way, graph each side as a separate equation, then you need to find the points of intersection, and then the answer would be everything in between those two, because that's where the curve is higher than 600. I did it right. Everybody didn't press anything else. I got everything between 1.66 and 6.16. What size square should be cut from the cardboard? Right there. Got that one? That one's easy. We've got one so many of those. 9, a little bit harder. Stewart Cannery is going to package tomato juice in 2-liter cylindrical cans. There's my cylindrical can, and the volume is 2 liters, which is 2,000 2,000 cubic centimeters. Find the radius and height of the cans. If the cans have a surface area that is less than 1,000, so the surface area has to be less than 1,000 square centimeters. Find the radius and height. So here's the radius, here's the height. This looks so familiar to me here. I feel like I did this already. How, at some point, how do we find the volume of a cylinder?
Pi r squared h.
So pi r squared h equals 2,000.
Yeah.
And how do we find surface area? Remember, here's your cylinder. It has
Pi r squared
two
times
circles and then this rectangle.
2 pi
So the surface area
2 pi r
is going to be 2 pi r squared, that's the top and bottom,
plus 2
plus
pi r.
the circumference, which is 2 pi r, times the height. And that has to be less than 1,000. Surface area less than 1,000. Now this is the equation I think I'm gonna graph. But the problem with it is right there. Right? So I'm gonna come up to this one and I'm gonna notice that h is 2,000 over pi r squared. So the thing that's stopping me from graphing this right here, the same way I did this one, is that extra variable. So I'll substitute that variable out. So 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r times 2,000 over pi r squared. And that has to be less than 1,000. Before I type this in, let's clean this up a little bit. I'm gonna have 4,000 over R. Would you agree with that? So again, you're gonna graph this on your calculator and find the solutions exactly the way you did this one. So if you did it like me with two equations, there's one, there's one. This time we're looking for where the curve is below the line. If you want to subtract 1,000 and look for x-intercepts where it's below the x-axis, that's totally fine too. 2 times x squared plus 2,000 divided by x.
So x would be like our radius.
Yep. So this time, I did it again with intersections, and I got a picture that looked like this. My window is 0 to 15 on the x's, and 0 to 1,200 on the y's. And I got that picture, and I am gonna look for this point and this point, and then this will be the answer, because I want the curve to be below the line this time. So everybody's typing in, everybody's, however you chose to do the problem. We should get the same x values. I got 4.62. Didn't you? You outnumbered Peter. And 9.65.
4,000. Or not 400.
All right, so if my radius is 4.62, then what would my height be? I'm gonna find my radius and my height for both of these points. So if the radius is 4.62, then 2,000 divided by pi divided by 4.62. That height is 29.83. And 2,000, tell me if you get something different, because it's definitely possible. Yeah, I got 6.4. So this is another situation where we're gonna have a tall, slender can or a short, fat can. Find the radius and height of the cans. So the radius has to be between 4.62 and 1.65. And the height's gonna be between this and this. Everybody okay with that? It's easy on your calculator.
So we put it in the interval notation.
All right, number 10. Oh, this is an easy one. Nothing fancy about this equation. They charge $25 just for call when you call them, and then $18 an hour for repair work. What does that look like? What equation is that? 25 plus 18x, and that has to be less than 100. Would everybody agree with that one? That one's not too bad. So we don't need a calculator to solve that. Or maybe we do to get this test. So, what is that? 4.16 or 17. So let's see if we can answer the question then. How long did the electrician work if the charge was less than $100? Assume he rounds off the time to the nearest quarter hour. So it's gotta be less than 4.17.
4.
Well, it says quarter hour. So would that just be 4? 4 hours?
Or would it be 4.25, because that's closer than 4.0?
But it only goes up to 60 minutes in an hour, so it'd be 4 point, like, not that. You know, like a quarter of 60 is not a quarter of 100.
So, you see what she's saying? This is 4 whole hours, and then 17 hundredths of an hour. So this is not 17 minutes.
It's, okay.
Yo, you're right.
Yeah.
Cindy, you were right.
Thank you.
Your argument was exactly right. So rounding this to 4.25, a quarter of an hour is not 0.25 decimal. A quarter of an hour is 25, wait, now I'm getting myself wrong.
Wait, it'd be
A quarter of an
15.
hour
No,
is 15 minutes,
Yeah,
right?
But when you put
So this isn't 17 minutes.
no, I know, but
Okay.
I'm saying, shouldn't we round it to 4.25, because it's 4 1/4?
Okay, if he rounds to 4.25, find the bill.
It's 101.5.
Should we round to 4.25? No.
And
Okay.
about that.
One more. the total electrical resistance of two resistors, is this a homework problem? This sounds like a homework problem. All right, so let's work through it.
Actually, longest.
No,
No, I think we're gonna time if I'm not.
All right, some physics deal here. One resistor has a resistance of 2.3 ohms. Let X be the resistance of the second resistor. I'm going to put X in here. That's what it says. Make that one X. And the other one is 2.3. Express R as a function of X. Now, what that means, guys, is R equals a bunch of X's. Okay? So we have to get R by itself. So what do you want to do?
Multiply everything by R.
You could multiply everything by R. You could also do something else. Watch this and see if this makes sense to you. Does that make sense to you, just getting a common denominator over here? Okay, now think about that for a second. If you had 1 over X equals 1 over 4, could you say X equals 4?
Yes.
Cross multiply, X equals 4? So as long as, I mean, if you want to go ahead and cross multiply and divide, you can. But if 1 over R is this, doesn't it make sense that R is this? This is the reciprocal, right? So if the reciprocal of R is this, then R must be this. Okay, Lynn, cross multiply and divide, solve for R. It's gonna come out to be this way, okay? I promise it is. And that is the answer, okay? That's the answer. To write R as a function of X. Find the resistance if the total resistance is at least 1.7. So this is the total resistance, and we want it to be at least 1.7. So 2.3x is greater than or equal to 1.7 plus 3.91. 0.6x.
Wait, why can you multiply this one?
Because x is positive. In this problem, x is positive. Your exact great question. Did you hear Peter's question? He said, well, Miss Ford, you made this huge deal about not multiplying in an inequality. But in this case, because it's a word problem and I know what x stands for, I'm allowed to do it because it's positive. Great question, though, Peter. Great question. Way too simple. I got 6.52. X is greater than or equal to 6.52? Is that what you got? All right, let me hand back some stuff. I think that's it. Yep, I already gave you the review sheet. Next class, we will start reviewing